This is the Sports Hit List. By the fans, for the fans.
Since I've been an NBA fan, the standard has been top three, most of the time, one or two in the conference, and you have good to great numbers to go along with it. And for the past couple of years, my gripe has been at this point, it's the NBA Most Valuable Joker Award because it seems like it's every year, no matter what he does, the standard is him. So if he's the fifth seed but his numbers are good, but he didn't have enough all of his players are hurt, he gets it. If he's the one seed and his team's really good, but his numbers are not as great, he gets it. Then if it's another year where his team is supposed to be one, they finish second, and his numbers are the same as they were the year before, he gets it then. Now this year, it's his team isn't as good, his numbers are better, he gets it. So every single scenario that you can think of, it's fitting Joker, while other people are having great years, and it seems like they're just being ignored. Shai's being ignored. Jason Tatum is always going to be ignored. Carl, I told you this before.
Yeah,
Unless he averages 50, he's never going to win an MVP.
No.
And this is what I'm saying. The standard is changing. The standard looks weird now. So I'm just confused about the whole way they doing it. I don't know why Joker is number one. Is it just because he beat Wemby on Saturday when Wemby beat him on Friday? Like, I don't understand.
Mike, let me say this before I jump to everybody else. Joker has 3. I guess what year wasn't Joker supposed to win it, in your opinion? Because I would say last year you could argue it, but the last 2 times he didn't win it.
But you could You can argue last year easily.
You could argue last year, but aside from that,
easy.
Right.
It's an easy argument.
But aside from that, though, Mike, would you argue the first 2 times he won it? I guess it was 21 and 22, right?
No, 22 was Embiid.
22 was Embiid. They cried. 22 is probably the one he definitively should have won. But look at what the numbers Joel Embiid was doing. I think the other ones were probably legitimate based on what.
No, he won 21, 22, and then Embiid won 23.
That's what I said. Yeah,
right.
So 22. So
21. So I guess 21 and 22. Would you say that he deserved them?
So
22, he got
Mike is trying to say is
the people were hurt. So that's what gave him 22. Is that ACL tear for Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. had the bad back. Yeah. So they gave it to him for that, even though I think they were the 6th seed, but they gave it to him for that. And so, but his numbers weren't incredible. It's weird energy. That's all I'm saying. But everybody else going.
Ziggs, what are your thoughts? What do you think about this race?
I wish you would have let us create our own top 8 because that list you just listed there, man, that's 100%.
Well, you give us the remix, sir. If you had if you want to get
I got to give you time to go ahead and set that up. That's proper preparation, and you ain't prepared.
You didn't do it again.
I can't give you top 8 right now.
Lord.
But I hear what Mike is saying, and those are some really good points because it's like no matter how it's skewed, it seems like it's just fit for Joker to win. But this particular season, it may be his best statistical season he's been having of his career, right? The man is averaging 31 for the first time in his career. You would think he would, not. You would think that he'd already reached the ceiling. No, he's breaking through the ceiling and he's continuing more, right? 31, damn near another triple-double for the season. But for me, and Carl, I always say this, like, you got to have the numbers, right? You got to be able to have those points. We need to also be averaging some kind of double-double because, the voters really love stuff like that. But then when you look at the records between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets, like Mike alluded to, they have 3 times, the Nuggets, 3 times as many losses as the OKC Thunder, almost. And that has to play a role. At this point, you have to look at Shai and say, or at Oklahoma City and say, hey, man, what's happening down there where these guys have only lost 5 times, whereas the Nuggets have lost 14 times already in the season?
Yeah.
It's Shai Gilgeous, man. I mean, as a nucleus, that team is well built, well solid. Keep in mind, they're winning games without Chet Holmgren, who is already having a breakout season, right? J-Dub over there, Jalen Williams is up there averaging 20, but Shai Gilgeous is that dude. Watching him against the Knicks, And then watching him against the Celtics certified for me that he is that guy. And I see you shaking your head because he was cooking you just the same way that he was cooking us.
Mm,
In that
He
second half, boy. Oh.
he just it's like he chills for a little bit. Then when the fourth quarter comes, it's like, all right, game time. And he gets in his bag, and he's just a beautiful one-on-one player when it comes to the skills, the bag that he has, the numbers that he has. He's putting up really, really solid numbers. I even took it down. 31 points a game, five rebounds, 6 assists, 52% shooting from the field for a guy that handles the ball a lot. His three-point percentage could be a little bit better, but you already know he's not that three-point percentage guy. He's that in-between guy, that 18, 20-foot get to the hole, because we've seen it going down over and over. So for me, if you had to give me a top three, I'm going Shai Gilgeous, number one, right? I definitely have to put Joker in there. I'm not giving Giannis no love. I'm not giving Giannis no love. That love is going to Karl Anthony Towns. I'm sorry. Call it bias, call it
Talk
whatever
about
you
it.
want. The
Talk
man is
about it.
doing what he got to do in New York. Every time he misses a game, we lose, right? That goes to your point about taking the player off of the team. It's been happening with us. I've been seeing it. I don't know why Wemby is on that list. That's really, really ridiculous that he's up there. The man's team is 18 and 18. Since when have we started giving credit to 500 teams? Like, get out of here with that BS. There's a lot of more dudes that could be mentioned other than Wemby. And to Mike, your point about Donovan Mitchell, we always have this every season, but I
Every
look
single
at the
year.
numbers, and in terms of the numbers, Donovan is putting up pedestrian numbers, man. 23, 4 and 4.
that's
That's not
see,
going to get it.
see, this is great. All right, Andres, before you get in, let me get back in there, man, because you mentioned my man.
I'll tell you in.
This is what I'm saying. This is crazy. Like this is what's so insane about it. Because like we take past accolades, and we all know voters care about that when they looking at their MVP. So Donovan Mitchell comes in the league. He comes to this trash Utah team. And as an aside, Andres never mentioned Rudy Gobert to me ever again. Okay. He's a burger.
Bro,
and
how-
you
how-
know it,
how
and
do we-
I know it. How dare you fix your lips to
First-
ever say he was better than Donovan Mitchell?
Yo,
I digress. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
First
So-
podcast of the year, and this man is already talking about
I don't want to hear about Rudy Gobert ever. So, Carl, the man gets in the league. Carl Enzi and Andres. The man gets in the league to this trash Utah team. Within 2 to 3 years, they're the number one seed because of him. He leaves that team. They're terrible. Goes to the Cavs. 2 years. They're the number one seed. His numbers are his numbers because Evan Mobley's better. He's allowing Darius Garland's better. Jarrett Allen's better. He's allowing all of these people to be better so that his team can win. And Zig, you mentioned OKC. They only got 5 losses, which means, man, they're doing incredible. The Cavs only have 4 losses.
Mike.
They started the season 15-0.
Mike,
Why can't? What does he have to do? I just don't know.
Mike, here's my argument. Hold on. Let me just say this real quick. Remember the year Jason Kidd didn't win it when he went from the Suns to the Nets?
Yeah.
Why didn't he win it that year?
Ooh.
He should have won. He
Tim
did the
Duncan.
same thing. He did the same thing Donovan Mitchell did, right?
He didn't average 23 and 5.
No, but he still was able to bring a team that was nothing to the number one seed.
Average 20. Look at what Zig said. This is the NBA.
But that wasn't the emphasis of your point, though,
23
Mike.
and 5 doesn't
Mike, that
count.
wasn't. But Mike, that wasn't the
Remember
emphasis
what
of
I
your point.
told you.
That wasn't the emphasis of your point.
Remember, it's 2 points cost, not one. It's both combined. It's their wins and their numbers. That's what I told you. The man is averaging 23 and 5. So now the standard is he got to average 30 to win MVP.
He
Like,
does.
Yeah,
but
he
again,
does.
you just said my guy has to average 50. 23 is not going to get it done.
And
But
what
that's
did
not
I
gonna
say?
get it
Do I
done.
think that's a good thing or a bad thing? No,
No.
I think this is that's part of the problem is that a guy sacrifices his numbers because he could go and chuck and go. This is a guy who had 70 in a game. So it's not like this guy couldn't average 30. He got 70. So we know he could chuck and get 70.
Then why doesn't he?
He's sacrificing for the team.
Oh, bro,
The team is better, but he can't get recognized because we'll just say, oh, it's a team. But with SGA, we'll say it's just him. Come on, bro.
Ziggs, go ahead. What was your other point?
I was just gonna say, yeah, he does have to average the 30, and you alluded to it already. Darius Garland is doing his thing. Evan Mobley is doing his thing. Jared Allen is averaging the double-double. But There just seems to be a lack of respect for individual. I mean, the man is not even averaging 25. So when you take a look at basketball reference tracker, right, in terms of the MVP award, the man's not even on the list. They have Darius Garland, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley on the list, and they do not have Donovan Mitchell with
That's
top
hate,
10,
bro.
which
Well,
is
there's got to be some, but again, it's the same thing we
It's a
talk about.
bias.
Well, again, with there's a bias as far as Jason Tatum is averaging like 30, right? He's not going to get. He's going to
28
sniff.
and 10
Yeah,
and
he's
can't
not going
get
to
no
sniff
love.
anywhere near it. But again, there seems to be some. There has to be some favoritism. And again, when you're a voter, there has to be some form of bias. You can't possibly tell me you go into the vote and it blind.
We see it with the Finals MVP every
Yeah,
year.
there
so.
has to be some form of a bias. And I actually looked at it. I'm like, the last, I guess, 4 or 5 winners have been forwards. We haven't had a guard win the award since what? Since James Harden won it, right?
28, yeah.
Yeah, since 2018. Why is that? It seems like they're trying to get the centers back into it, or not only just that, the international players either. What are we saying here? Like, I'm again, I have to call what I see.
Tell him why he's wrong.
I have to call what I see.
And Andre should also
Okay, so-
drop his MVP picks as well.
2019, if Giannis shouldn't have won it, who should have won it? You're going to say Harden. I know you're going to say Harden. 2020, should it have been Giannis or LeBron? Giannis.
2020.
Thank you. 2021, should it have been Jokic or someone else?
Nah, Joker had that.
2022, should it have been Joker or someone else?
Joker had that too.
23, should it have
Oh
been
no,
Embiid or
one of
Joker?
those was Donovan Mitchell's. You know
Oh,
that
no,
already.
my
I already
Come
said
on,
that.
son.
I already said that. I'm not. Yo, listen. I already said that. The standard
Yeah,
cannot
wait,
change.
you know-
I already said that. Oh,
Yo.
he was averaging 25. They won 67 games. What? He had to average 30.
They won 60, Mike. They didn't win 60.
He.
Calm down.
Oh, what seed were they? Refresh my
They were-
memory.
They were the 1 seed.
Oh, what seed?
They were the 1 seed.
In what conference?
In the Western Conference.
And what conference was Joker in?
The Western Conference.
Oh, okay, cool. So 25, number 1 seed, and the guy that was in what? The 5th seed won the MVP, right? But they were the 3rd seed. 3rd seed?
To a 4th seed because they lost to the Suns. No, they were the 3rd seed. You're right. They were the 3rd seed because the Suns were the 2nd seed.
So at some point we get
Yeah.
to ask the question. So thank you,
Right.
Andres. No, he shouldn't have won that year.
Should have
Donovan
won.
Mitchell should have won.
You know,
Thanks for watching the Sports Hit List. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In fact, do it now.